putting the new reinforcement plate underneath of your manifold box. You want to open up your box. There's 4 bolts in the corners of the box. There's 4 bolts that hold the manifold. Inside, 4 bolts on the manifold box. Should be in the corners. And then underneath there are 4 bolts that hold the manifold. I need to remove the 4 bolts from the manifold. Open your toolbox back up. You'll want to remove the 4 bolts from the toolbox also. Then you remove the 1/4 inch line from the gauge on the side of the toolbox. If your manifold has cracked the bottom of your box, you can cut the box out away from it, support the bottom of the manifold with a jack or something of that nature. So your manifold harness that goes to the brain box, you'll have to disconnect from the brain box. It is back here. It is a big round plug. Disconnect it. Looks like this. Manifold harness through. Once you have your harness disconnected from the brain box and through the mount for the brain box, it will set on the side of the brain box like this. So once you get the plug in from the back of the brain box through the mount to the side of the manifold box, there's a rubber grommet. Pull the rubber grommet out. Feed the plug through. Let it sit inside the box. We'll remove the box that you have cut the bottom out of. You'll have a jack supporting the manifold underneath. So this is the manifold support plate supplied by QuickLoadz that will go underneath the manifold. Alright, on this next part, whenever you're installing the plate, you'll want 2 people. Go ahead and pick the manifold up and take the QuickLoadz support bracket, slide it in, set the manifold on it. Make sure all your hoses and wiring and everything are out of the way. So you want to line it up from the top the best you can. And you'll go underneath and put your bolts in. Be sure not to over tighten them. After that, you will grab your manifold box on the new clamshell design by QuickLoadz. It's cut out in the bottom, so you won't have to disconnect any hoses or anything or feed anything up through. Be sure you take your manifold wiring harness that goes to the brain box, feed it through the hole. Once it's fed through the hole, be sure to stick your rubber grommet back on to protect the harness. Now, take the manifold box, pressure hose does not get trapped underneath. Once you get it up in so far, you will want to feed your manifold harness back through the hole on the mount. Be sure you give yourself enough slack. You take your 4 bolts, line them up, and you can reinstall your 4 bolts. For reinstallation of your 1/4 inch hose that fits to the pressure gauge, you'll need Loctite 545 thread sealant. On the male side, inside the box, you'll put a little dab towards the back of the threads. Installation of the manifold harness on the back of your QuickLoadz brain box. On the plug side of your QuickLoadz brain box, for your manifold harness, there will be 3 notches. The larger one is oriented in the downward position, with the smaller ones oriented at 10 and 2. On the plug side, there will be guides on the inside with large and 2 smaller ones. These will line up with the ones on the back of your brain box. You'll line them up. You'll twist the outer ring. Once it clicks, it's tight enough and it is sealed.